I was asked an interesting theory about the games Black and White 1 and 2, and since I rarely address theories on Generation 5, I thought it would be a good idea to continue this after debunking the Wally is N theory. But today's theory is short, and no matter what I do, it probably will remain a mystery. Sign in and get ready to give me some comments down below as we discuss where Hilbert, also known as Trainer Black, went. Yes, his name is Hilbert, and no sexism here. Hilda, also known as Trainer White, is almost an exact mirror. Again, with the exception that she is a woman and Hilbert is a man. Well, girl and boy. They are both 14 in Black and White and 16 in Black and White 2. So the question is, what happened to the protagonist from Black and White and in Black and White 2? And where did he and she go? Well, that is very hard to answer, and there is almost no evidence showing where both Hilda and Hilbert went. The only information we really get is from his or her mother, and that is he went in search for N somewhere and hasn't come back. Pokemon is pretty famous for this. Looking back, Red was one of the very select few reoccurring characters, appearing again in Generation 2. So did Blue for that matter, along with all Generation 1 gym leaders. Doing this kinda showed a time lapse, leaving little to imagination. This is what happened to Kanto once Team Rocket was gone 2 years later. But Gold, also known as Ethan, was never really shown again after Generation 2, along with the other protagonists. Generally speaking, this isn't really a big deal, because a game isn't taking place within that generation or area. So for example, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald are not taking place in Generation 2's Johto region. So why would we ever get information on Gold's location, or for that matter, any other protagonist? When is the last time you heard any information about Generation 4's protagonist? What he was doing, where he is now? Looking back, Red and Blue caught 149 and 150 of the current Pokemon, so their journeys were pretty much done. Blue became a gym leader, and Red went in search for Mew. But the other protagonists don't really have fleshed out arcs finishing their journeys. Even the villains are rarely seen after the events of each generation, Giovanni only making a very small side appearance in an event of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Team Aqua and Team Magma's leaders weren't really shown either, with the exception of a small after portion of Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, and Lysander is pretty much dead for all we know. So when people ask what happened to these protagonists, it's really a matter of, will they ever be mentioned in the future in a future series? Blue was mentioned in X and Y, but it was just a small little piece of dialogue. So where is Hilbert and Hilda then? N returns in Black and White 2, but Hilbert and Hilda do not, leaving many questions. Perhaps they are still searching for N, as N makes no mention of Hilbert or Hilda during the events of Black and White 2. If N had encountered them, he surely would have brought them with him, or at least made mention of him encountering them. It's safe to say that the protagonists of Black and White are still looking for N, and are either dead, lost, or just in general missing. But we can go a bit further. Black and White takes place after 2007, and within the games, there is televised broadcasts, phones, cell phones, and other ways to communicate with people. When the events of Black and White 2 were occurring, surely Hilbert and Hilda would have seen something happening. This would indicate that they were more than likely in a different region. But what about a phone call? Even the protagonist's own mother doesn't know anything about where they're gone, what they're doing, or what happened to them. Why the mystery? Why not return when N returned? This leads me to believe that Hilbert and Hilda are dead or, at best, lost. Ghetsis returns as well in Black and White 2, and has tremendous power also. It wouldn't be too difficult to think that Ghetsis found Hilbert and Hilda searching for N and murdered them out of revenge. Along with that, Ghetsis would murder them to prevent them from interfering with his scheme for Black and White 2. This makes a lot more sense. They were just looking for N, as N never mentions anything about them, and their own mother has no information about their whereabouts. So, while I don't have definitive evidence, it would seem the protagonists from Black and White night, Hilbert and Hilda were murdered by Ghetsis to ensure his scheme would work. Well, that went dark pretty fast, but hey, what do you expect from a game named Black? Of course it's gonna be dark. If you enjoyed my terrible puns, leave me a like and a comment down below. Where do you think Hilbert and Hilda are? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to figure out who made the PC and operating systems in Pokemon. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. Thanks for watching, and as always, good gaming, and God bless. Thanks for watching my video and making it to the end. If you want to see my theories a day early, make sure to head over to my Patreon, where donators get a day early viewing of my newest theories. And follow me over on Twitter to see my updates about certain videos and access to some cool unlisted hidden content as well. If you don't have Twitter, I am on Tumblr too, so be sure to check out my videos on your preferred social networks, or subscribe here on good old YouTube. I've been on YouTube for a while now, and I don't plan on going anywhere soon, so I hope you keep supporting me by liking the video and sharing it where you can on Facebook or Twitter or other forums as well. Thank you again for taking a bit of time out to support me, and I hope to see you here next time on Pokemon Theory. Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images obtained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights. So please remember this when watching my Pokemon Theories. Thanks.